Hey, welcome to the 2019 Round 7 AFL wrap-up. We're a bit late this week. We had huge news on Tuesday, but we had to hold off, let Channel 9 be the team that broke it. Now the news is out, we're going to do a full wrap-up. That big news, as you all would have heard by now, the Channel 9 AFL footy show has been cancelled. Now, I don't want to say it's because of us, but we started last year, and that's when their ratings started tanking. They reformatted it for this year, still tried to compete against us. Unfortunately, when you're providing such unbiased quality content like we do, you're always going to win.
Stomping through the forest like we're retarded tyrannosaurs. Hunter eating beefcakes in the back of 4 doors. Fuck a course, fuck my mom, fuck your dad, fuck this song. Seriously, though, fuck this song. I can't stand it, man. Fuck this song, y'all.
So, as you just heard, Friday night was Port Adelaide's turn to get stomped on by Collingwood. Don't read too much into it for Port Adelaide. Collingwood is stomping over everybody. Saturday saw Melbourne win a game, much to everyone's surprise. In a few years, everyone will look back at this. It'll become an urban legend, and no one will believe that it ever actually happened. And the Giants beat the Saints. They've had an easy run till now. Expect to see the Saints fall down the ladder real quick. The Brisbane Lions beat the Swans. This shows how far the Sydney Swans have fallen. Expect them to compete for Carlton with the spoon. Obviously Carlton will win though. Bulldogs beat the Tigers by 47 points. That puts the Tigers in 9th place, their spiritual home. The Koala Bears started their AFL Greenpeace World Wildlife Fund Protection Plan by playing the Gold Coast. They still only just won this, but that plan continues next week with St Kilda, and then Melbourne, and then Adelaide, and then Footscray, and then Sydney, and then a bye. That's as easy a run as you could get this side of playing Carlton every week. Speaking of Carlton, boy did they turn it on this week. Last year they played a game where the score was 7 points to 77 at halftime. This game, the halftime score was 13 to 66. They still only kicked 1 goal, but they'd scored a bit more on points. The fans showed their appreciation for such a big improvement by clapping them off at halftime. That game was part of the year-long plan by the AFL to schedule all the rubbish games for Sunday when nobody cares. Part of that plan was also the Cats flogging... Who'd they flog? No one cares. Where is it? Bombers. They flogged the Bombers. Moving on. Well, that concludes all the AFL games for this round. But as we're getting bigger and bigger, we're starting to get more fan mail. So this week someone's actually sent in a video. Let's watch that fan video and see what it is.
Oh, hi. Wow. I'm a Freo supporter. We beat Footscray this week and we're second on the ladder. This is our year. We'll win the premiership for sure. I know it's never happened before, but I'm sure it's all up from here. Can we please have Bruce review the game this week? You always ridicule us and we don't deserve that now that we're such winners.
Okay, over-eager Freo fan. We don't normally review non-AFL quality games, except Carlton. But this time, we'll make an exception. Let's get Bruce to do a review.
G'day, Bruce here again. Talk about leaving the best for last. The AFL knew this one would be an absolute blockbuster, so they scheduled this cracker for the last game on Sunday afternoon. And what a high-scoring blockbuster it turned out to be. Oh, sorry. That was the Carlton North Melbourne game, not the Adelaide versus Freo. The first half saw both teams thinking they were playing soccer and only able to score points. Even the stats team were taking the piss, bringing up stats like possessions per goal, which at one stage for Adelaide was 266.6 to 1 goal. At the end of the third quarter, the umpires finally realised that shiny thing at the end of the black cord hanging around their necks was a whistle and paid some free kicks, resulting in 3 Adelaide goals. Mind you, Adelaide are obviously allergic to the grass, as they were paid a 50-metre penalty when a Freo player threw a tuft of grass as a distraction technique while he's lining up for goal. This proved to be the turning point in the game, which gave the mighty Adelaide Crows the momentum they needed to pull off a win. That's all for me this week. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Bruce. Another top-quality wrap-up from you. Glad to see you could dress up for the occasion. I'm also glad to see that you get to watch these games from whatever prison you're reporting from. I don't want to know how you smuggled that phone in, though.